Let's start from the slide number 1. All right,
Okay.
Madam Samalie.
Yes, good evening once again to everyone. I'm just honored to be here with you tonight. And I just want to share my success story with you briefly. So in the picture, it's me now as a successful consultant in Greenwood. So can we go on?
Yes.
Yeah. Of course, I'm an 8-star consultant in Greenwood. Well, 10 ago. Time that means they are low and the low succeed. Doing this is like in other places, hard. They are hard, but you can live in successful. In those pictures, I wrote billionaire. That because the husband behind all this is Greenwood. Greenwood, I joined, I said 10 years ago. Things were not easy. I lived in a very, very poor environment near a dusty road. Everything was a mess. I can say that. When I joined the Greenwood, I didn't know that I could carry it this far. But as I progressed in business, the more I got obsessed with it. First, I bought a bunch of products, just a few products for my personal care and for my children. I had a son who was sick. So I tried. It did me good. And I said, if these people happen to make something, because my child had got an infection in the lungs. By then, I think it was around 15 years. And then we were in the hospital day in, day out. They were proposing for major surgery. But 3 times went to the hospital. At times there was no oxygen. At times the doctors were on leave. But they said the surgery would need a team of doctors to do the operation. So, like for 8 months, we were going to the hospital and going out, being admitted and being discharged. But in the long run, that was the time I had just joined the Greenwood. I said the last thing I heard of, they had something called ginseng. If a person has a wound that does not heal, like they say there's a wound in the lungs, to contract. So about it, but then we have used the best of medication, the most expensive antibiotics, but nothing has done. Then do you think such, he called it such, will be of any help? But I said, just take. So when he took, of the out, and it was like his face was changing. So I said, try some. And when he took it, the wounds completely sealed, and we decided 2 weeks to Ganj hospitals. And the doctor declared him as a person who was completely healed. So I said, what should I do for Greenwood? I should take him as something. I called him as Greenwood, because to me, it was a him who did this wonder. So I said I should do something for Greenwood because he has done something for my son. So that's how I started. And by doing that, money started coming in little by little. So as I enjoyed the money, I failed. But I had one more problem. How could I contact people? Because the business needs people. So what I did was to overcome my fears. Because what I knew, what I read, I was fully convinced that it was a genuine company with genuine products, and I talk about it with them. So I overcame my fear, and among the people I approached, were people from the government. Now I could not fear anyone concerning this business because I knew it was real. Another problem I had is like, will I ever convince anyone to join? I can talk to them and they buy. And that has taken me really that I want to join. It does business. All these things come a number of have joined, have very, very profitable about it without fear, because of what it does, something done in a way. To me, greenwash, and I had to raise my children as a single parent, but it has been greenward behind the scenes. So it did everything. The children completed school. And now I have to take care of myself. So I have to do the hard work. Greenwood has a lot of money, but you don't have to be lazy because there is money. You have to get the money when you are doing work. So you have to work. At times you have to use the brain, but at times you have to do it the hard way. You have to reach many places in order to have a successful story like the one I'm sharing today. Standing in the picture is my shop. It is shop number U023 in Uganda, located in the heart of Kampala, that is in Nakasero. This shop started with 60. I don't know how you would translate this money in your own currencies. Neither do I have it in dollars, but I will just talk about it in Uganda shillings. I started with 600,000 shillings. Then that means I had like 8 to 9 bottles. But now I have a stock of 130 million, 100 in the fertilizer, and then 30 in other products. So, but if you ask me, how did you get all this stock? I also at times fail because I just see things when I work, I just see some things just happening, and it came to be what it is. I've been able to travel to China a number of times. And when I travel, I make sure that, I travel with my downlines. At least 2 or 3, they have to travel with me when I'm going. And when they come back, they really also feel the example I set, that they also needed to work, and they do. So that is how I've been coming on and on, that I do not become selfish. I share with the others. I share with my down which way I'm husband to me has been a husband. It's going to be all. I had dreams before. but I was a very poor woman. And I was living in a very, very poor environment with a very poor house. And I was convinced life has to be that way because it was a house where my husband brought you to stay. I didn't know that at times you have to go to your own boundaries and go as far as me to places. The way I dress when I'm going to train is special, just because I've been trained by Greenwood. But this leaves an impact on people. So our appearance matters a lot when we have to present, or rather when we go outreach to people, we have to be presentable. We have to look Greenwood because we care and share. How can a person who is caring go when he's in shabby dresses or outfits that bring little dignity to the company? So as of now, in those pictures you see now, that was the first one whereby I'm in jeans and t-shirts. I had gone to the factories, one of the most important factories in the countries, and it is not so easy to be allowed to go inside there. But I'm always allowed to enter such places. And I don't present myself as coming from a fake place. I simply am coming from Greenwood, and they allow me. Just imagine that. In these pictures you see, this was a meeting I held at the end of the year. And this time around, I decided to change the style of a meeting. So in this meeting, these are high profile people only. Meeting. Yes, there were people from majors. The picture, the person named in red, and the guy's me major. So he has joined the Greenwood. Then and he was convinced by the person next to him who was in China recently, though many people never come to know that there was a big soldier traveling with us, but there he was with us. So among the people who came, at least 10 people registered as members. Because I say it is days. And 3 days. Gladly, because you don't freeze. So when I called them, surprisingly, I invited 75 people and 65 people turned up. I was really happy. Some of them come from organizations like the ones in the front. He's a member of Action Against Hunger. It's an international company, but they have enrolled with us because they cannot fight hunger, definitely, without using the fertilizer. So all sorts of people, I'm not fearing them because I'm convinced I have the truth with me, and the truth, the Greenwood products, they work. But also, I always put into consideration my downlines for them to meet them a day with just a few head office. I have to invite them. So if you have people who may seemingly want to join, some people are just confused, but they don't know that Greenwood is something that can take them high. Please just direct them to any training. If a person gets training, the brain can easily change. He can do this business. Among the people I approached was the president himself in 2017. They told me he would be in a certain area, and I decided to attend. So 10 minutes speaking to the president himself about Greenwald, and he listened to me. Was really surprising, and I felt the energy of God that I by the out. And we have a lot of these people use their money to buy the cars, and they use their money to buy the fuel. For me, Greenwald gave me the car, and then it gives the bonus. Get the fuel, the salary, and then they just give it to you out of your performance. So please, as I share a successful story, it means I'm successful. Right now, oh, there I was with the president. We took 10 minutes talking, nothing else but Greenwald. And around him were ministers. They are also listening to that kind of story. So that is where we are now, because I talked to the president about Greenwald, and many, many others are coming on. So where would I get the chance to meet the president if it wasn't Greenwald? Where would I get that travel to such significant place? At times people may be random, but when you travel with Greenwald company, it's all excitement around you. People loving, people, smiles everywhere. So it's really enjoyable. This was, yeah, when you see most of the films being played, especially films from China, they must show this place where I'm standing, the place behind me. Most of the films, they have to show that place. How would I ever reach there without Greenwald? And I don't use my money. Everything is covered by Greenwald. So working with Greenwald, not for Greenwald, but working with Greenwald is the biggest thing a person can have. There I was, seated in the jet, just relaxing. I was not fearing anymore, because the first time I traveled, I was really in fear. It would be the because of national trinket. So, Madam Wang, I think you can go to the next item.
Yes.
Can we go to the next item?
Which one? You mean, have you done with your success story?
Actually, I just wanted to show you. Okay, these
Which one?
pictures have not yet come. That
Which
picture
slide?
already there. That's me. Now, when you look on your left, is it on your left? Please bring that picture back.
Yeah, I have a pictures of you receiving the check and the car award.
Okay. All right. Yes, I'll cover them. All right.
Okay.
But, there was one we had opened before that contained the house.
Do you mean
the one with the house first?
Okay, this is the one with your house. On the left, to the left is the house. Okay, all right.
The left is my former house, and it still exists. I would have demolished it by now, because I have all the money that it would take to be replaced by a beautiful house. But my memories are there. So you just look, I just tried my best to modernize that house, but the structure could not improve even at a single moment. So 4 years ago, I decided to move to another place. This old house is near the main road and it's just 3 kilometers from the main city. But that's how it looks like. And that is what is called poverty. Because it ensnares you and makes you a slave. And then you feel that you have to be in that place and you have to be in that situation. But thanks to Greenwood, on your right now, you can see parked in front of the house is the car that I got from Greenwood. And behind is my new house, my new home where I am now. I'm having that presentation inside the house. In this area where I live, it is 15 kilometers from the main city. That means I have to travel 30 kilometers to and fro, but I'm not bothered. Anyway, rich people always stay far away from the congestion in the city. So it's called the White House. That's what people call it. Even 5 kilometers away, they know it's a White House. So, but who built this house? And then the next one. So here, this is the day.
The check, the one
received the car.
Yeah, yeah.
This was my check of 34 Uganda million shillings. It was a very, very wonderful day for me. I celebrated it in style because it was my first car and I really enjoyed that day. So, as you can see me, I was really happy. So in Greenwood, it's not a fake check. It's real money because you use it to buy the car. The company calls it a small car, but my car is not a small car. Though physically it may look so, but the way it works is really a big car, and I like the car. I bought the car of my choice, the car that I really feel that I needed. It does not consume much much fuel. So the way it moves, it's a 4-wheel drive. And please, thank God. And you see, even the way I don't want to show you my former, I want to, but the way I look now, the way I dress, the skin that I have, is because of Greenwood. I use the products. I eat the everyday products. So I have a very healthy skin. Charger. So please, I want to say thank you to Greenwood, and I want to motivate my fellow leaders that even if you see things falling apart, even if they are cheap talks that want to make you to fail, please hold on. Don't leave Greenwood. Do your best. When you join Greenwood, you are called an independent distributor. So please stick to that and do your business. In the end, it's your money, your car, it's your house, and then it's your life. So we want to say thank you to Greenwood.
And we want to say thank you to Madame Samalie. Thank you very much, Madam, for setting a good example for all the leaders and the distributors in Africa. Thank you for your hard work because, without hard work, you won't be able to achieve so much accomplishment, from the China trip to the car award. And we also thank you for practicing your leadership by bringing more of your team members to the China trip. This is the most important, that you actually develop the leaders in your team. So you help others and you help your team members to become leaders as strong as you are. So thank you very much. And we hope that, ladies and gentlemen, who's in today's house, you can learn from of leaders and of great distributors in Africa region, that if no matter what background you have, in greenwood business, you have the chance to achieve the financial freedom, and also you can raise yourself and raise others into great heroes and heroines. So thank you very much. Next, we would like to invite you to give us training in one of the topic, because we know that you not only is a leader, but also a good presenter and trainer. So today's topics for you is the calcium deficiency. Is that so?
Leaders who are not present. Yeah, that is so. Once again, I want to say good evening to all the leaders who are not present when I started, and please welcome. I just feel happy that all of you are here in the house. Though I'm not seeing you physically, but I just feel it. And thank you very much for turning in. Tonight, we are going to talk about something very important. Though it's a common talk, but some people do not know the seriousness of it. And this is nothing other than calcium. Calcium, people may talk about it every day. And when you mention calcium, what comes to people's mind is the bones, right? But today we are not talking about calcium only. We are talking about calcium deficiency.
Okay, all right. So thank you very much. I'm going to open the slide for you, so you'll be able to you're going to present.
Okay.
So ladies and gentlemen, Madame Samalie is going to present us a very important topic, calcium deficiency. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Okay.
Can you
the
see
title says?
Yes, can you
this
see
is
this?
calcium
Okay, all right.
deficiency. So this is a very important topic, which each and every one of us needs to pay attention to, because in the end, it involves all age groups. Though tonight, particularly, we want to talk about 3 groups of people who are affected mostly with the calcium deficiency. First of all, we shall talk about the children. Then we shall talk about pregnant women and lactating mothers. And lastly, we shall talk about the elderly. Calcium itself is one of the most important minerals in the human body, playing a crucial role of various physiological processes. It makes only up to 1 to 2% of an adult's human body weight. Or rather, to put into perspective, for a person who weighs 70 kilograms or 154 pounds, the total calcium content would be approximately 1,000 to 1,400 grams, or 1 to 1.4 kilograms. That is the amount of calcium you are supposed to have when you are around 70 kilograms. So how much calcium does a person have? Okay, we can say, let's talk about the body's calcium. 90%, 99% of it is stored in bones and teeth. And this plays a vital role in providing structure and strength. Then what of the 1% that remains? Where is it found? And what does it do? Surprisingly, this 1% of calcium is very important, because it's found in the blood, it's found in the muscles and the other tissues. And by being there, it gets involved in proper functions like important functions like muscle contraction, nerve transmission, blood clotting, and regulating heart rhythm. Most of the body's calcium is locked in bones and teeth and is only released into the bloodstream when needed to support bodily functions. So you can see that maintaining proper calcium levels is crucial for optimal health. As I said, that we are going to talk about 3 categories of people. Let me start with the children. Calcium deficiency among children. How are they affected? All over Africa, especially the sub-Saharan Africa, we have a problem of calcium deficiency because malnutrition and inadequate diets contribute to low calcium intake. And this leads to many problems because deficiency in calcium and other micronutrients are prevalent in young children across the continent, affecting overall growth, bone health, and cognitive development. Do you know one of the severe outcomes of calcium and vitamin D deficiency in young children? You may notice that some of the children around you have bowed legs. You may have noticed that some have curved spine or delayed motor development. All these deformities will come because of calcium and vitamin D deficiency. So parents in the house, please take note of that. Not only that, there are also other problems connected to calcium deficiency in children. Have you seen many parents these days being in hospital day in and day out because of infections? And when you ask the doctors, what is infection? No one can give you a proper explanation. But each kid, especially here in Uganda, it's like a song. Someone with a camera already has an infection. A kid, I'm talking about the children. So, how is calcium connected to infections? Calcium helps regulate the production and activity of white blood cells, which are essential for fighting off infections. So that means a deficiency in calcium can impair immune responses, making children more susceptible to infections and illnesses. When it comes to children's teeth, in Kampala here, where I work from, every other month, dental clinics are being opened up. Why? Because of the calcium deficiency. How does it affect the dental kind of thing? When a kid does not have enough calcium, or rather, if there is a deficiency of calcium in a child, it can result in weakened enamel, and thus increases the risk of cavities, tooth decay, and delayed eruption of teeth. And even in severe cases, calcium deficiency can cause malformation of the teeth, leading to a range of dental problems. Can I go on?
Okay.
All right. So now we can turn to the maternal calcium deficiency. When you talk about maternal, we mean the pregnant women and lactating mothers. How are they affected by calcium deficiency? This concerns all Africa generally. We are talking about Africa. If a mother is pregnant and has a deficiency in calcium, there are so many risks that are linked to this deficiency, like there are increased risks of complications such as preeclampsia, low birth weight, and stunted fetal development. But what is preeclampsia? This is a potentially dangerous pregnancy complication characterized by high blood pressure and damage to organs like the liver and the kidneys. This complication can even lead to serious other complications for both the mother and the baby, including premature delivery, even maternal death in severe cases. So this is not a laughing subject. It is something horrible. So studies suggest that calcium supplementation during pregnancy may reduce the risk of developing preeclampsia, especially in women who are at high risk due to low calcium intake. How important is calcium to pregnant and breastfeeding mothers? This means that they need an increase in calcium intake because they would need a supply of calcium to the growing fetus and later to breast milk. Because if a mother's calcium intake is sufficient, it may lead to the gradual depletion of her own bone calcium, increasing the risk of osteoporosis. We shall talk about osteoporosis later. So you have seen some mothers that are pregnant women, actually, when they are walking, they are limping. They are touching their back, like the lady you see in the picture. The baby seems so heavy, and now she's touching her back, meaning there is pain in the back. She might be having muscle weaknesses, making it difficult for her to perform physical activities. So all this is involved in calcium deficiency because it causes painful muscle cramps. And cramps are generally common in pregnant women, you know. So especially the second and third trimesters. So if a mother or a woman is going over experiencing calcium deficiency, generally, muscle weaknesses may occur. So apart from that, calcium also plays a big role in neurotransmitter regulation, including the functioning of serotonin. And what is serotonin? This is a hormone that influences mood and emotional well-being. So, and how is calcium connected to this? If this is a hormone that influences hormone, you've heard of mothers after childbirth, they say that she has maternal depression. So now, because of the deficiency, mothers seem to get such kind of condition. They go through maternal depression. At times they neglect their babies. They don't want to feed them. They don't want to hold them. They change completely. Calcium intake during pregnancy is very important in countries with high birth rates. And which are these countries? Uganda and Kenya, of course. Because there have been reports of significant number of pregnant women with inadequate calcium levels, which can also affect bone health later in life. So now we want to consider the last part of the three groups, the elderly. At one point we mentioned calcium, osteoporosis. And what is osteoporosis? Osteoporosis is a condition in which bones become porous, weak, and brittle. So osteoporosis and bone fractures due to calcium deficiency are a growing concern in older populations in Africa. So even a slight fall or accident can lead to a fracture. So calcium is essential for maintaining bone density, and when the body lacks sufficient calcium, bone resorption or the breakdown of bone tissue accelerates while bone formation slows. And what are the results? The results are thinner, weaker bones that are prone to fractures, as I said earlier. So most of people who have the elderly at home, you say how careful we are when they have to go downstairs because they fear that they will fall. And when they fall, you know how the whole family will be affected, because the fractures can significantly impact mobility, in independent life. Also, which can cause forever, including broken bones, head injuries, or long-term disability. And as if that is not enough, calcium is involved in regulating the contraction and relaxation of blood vessels, which affects blood pressure. So you may at times say, my mom is very old and very small. How comes she has blood pressure? The problem is not it's not about being fat. It's about the deficiency of calcium that settled around her for a long time. Insufficient calcium intake may contribute to hypertension in the elderly, a condition that is more common as people age. Hypertension increases the risk of cardiovascular disease, heart attack, stroke, kidney disease, and other serious conditions. So calcium is also involved in neurotransmitter release and synaptic function, which are really important for brain health. So the brain is also involved, the kidneys are involved, the bones are involved. So many things fall apart if we have inadequate calcium in the body. And what are the challenges that we have? Some countries have done their best, like Kenya. Of recent, Kenya introduced a program to fortify wheat flour with calcium, which has shown positive results in improving calcium intake among the general population. But still there is a challenge. Like inconsistent implementation. Will they sustain this and implement the rest of the time? Even limited public awareness. People are not aware that they need these fortified foods like the flour in order to get the calcium they need. So Africa, again, if I may ask, what causes calcium deficiency? Calcium deficiency kit from today is associated with poor dietary maintenance, especially in the low and rural areas where are often best to study for foods with limited intake of vegetables and dairy products. In West African countries, for example, like and Mali, traditional diets often lack sufficient calcium, contributing to the problem. So, does anyone else need calcium? Of course, all age groups. Listen to this. Calcium absorption and bone mass reaches its peak up to age 30. It's like when you are born, you started depositing money in the bank. When you turn 30, calcium goes down, it starts decreasing, you are now withdrawing. So supplementing calcium is necessary for people over 30 because they are losing calcium, not adding. So, but fortunately, what do we have?
Sorry, it seems that we have a technical fault with Madame Samalie. Just be patient, give her a few minutes, she'll come back.
We have
Madame Samalie, please unmute yourself. We cannot hear you now.
okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's clear.
Yeah.
We're at the calcium deficiency. What causes calcium deficiency? You have covered the challenge in Africa, and now we talk about the causes of calcium deficiency.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Calcium deficiency, in strong terms, is associated with poor dietary patterns, especially in low-income and rural areas where diet vegetables and dairy. Country can hear me. You have a lot of traditional diets that often lack sufficient calcium, contributing to the problem. Calcium absorption is also linked to vitamin D, and the deficiency in both, the problem is exacerbated because here we get lots of bone disorders. This situation worsens calcium deficiency and increases the risk diseases like rickets in children and osteomalacia in adults. So basically, malnutrition or not having enough dietary intake, vegetables, fruits, is the major cause of calcium deficiency in the African region especially. So now, does everyone in society need calcium? Of course, because calcium absorption bone mass reaches its peak at the age of 30. Age of 30. So it's like when you are born, you started depositing money in the bank. When it reaches 30 years of depositing, you start withdrawing. So when supplementing calcium, just remember at the age of 30, you don't have calcium. You need to supplement because this is the time it's going down, not adding on. So you need to supplement. So you can really find that people of all age groups really need the calcium. But Greenwald is here for us. It gives us the information and again gives us the how we can solve the problem. We have Greenwood calcium capsule. This capsule contains both calcium and vitamin D, helping promote calcium absorption. Before, when we used to give people calcium, we would say, please take the multivitamins as well in order to get the D. But take it now, the calcium we have. In it. And you plus product of Greenwood daily intake of 2 capsules along with the proper diet. Because we say, if you take calcium, if you supplement your calcium, that doesn't mean that you not add on another food. No, please get proper diet, which would be good enough for you to get general health that is good for you and good for the society. So what else do we have? We have compound calcium series. This is a breakthrough product series launched by Greenwood. This, then the dimerytic bone calcium powder gives the bone density. Collagen peptides use the bone framework, strengthen the ligaments, and repair the cartilages. I don't know if anyone had learned that about the compound calcium series, but something really, really good. The sodium hyaluronate restores the synovial fluid in the joint cavity. This is wonderful. Assisted by vitamin A, vitamin D, and vitamin K, iron and zinc. So Greenwood compound calcium series nourishes and strengthens our musculoskeletal system from multiple dimensions. Then again, apart from the key roles played in bones and joints, each of the 3 compound calcium products has this unique strength. Now we have the compound marrow. Calcium compound nutrient powder. This one improves bone density. Compound calcium nutrient powder with blood sugar support also helps control the blood sugar levels. Compound calcium nutrient powder for children also enhances immunity. We have seen that without calcium, they are prone to infections. But when you use this, the problem is solved. So these 3 compound calcium series products cater for different groups of people to take care of the entire musculoskeletal system. Lastly, our kidneys activate vitamin D, which is the most active form of vitamin D. So how are the kidneys helped in our products? We have the compound marrow powder, which helps enhance the kidney function. Besides, it improves memory and strengthens the bones. And meanwhile, this product provides calcium and phosphorus, building up the bones. So it is beneficial for people with calcium deficiency and osteoporosis. Compound marrow powder also provides proteins, essential fatty acids, and taurine for brain, which makes it especially a good supplement for adolescents and elderly people. Some adolescents say they take a taurine from these energy drinks, but taurine is not recommended the way it can with serious some piece of advice, please, on the and the compound parish so needs
Madam Samalie, please unmute yourself. Please kindly unmute yourself. Madam Samalie, you're
thank you very much.
all right. Okay.
So, some tips. I was talking about the compounding matter, and I think you heard that.
Yeah.
How we can prepare it and how many circuits you can take in a day. And then I was ending with the tips. Apart from using the Greenwood compound series of calcium and the compounding marrow powder and the capsule, please do moderate physical exercise because this one will help you build strong and healthy bones and joints. Eat healthy food. Food that contains vitamin C, D, E, calcium, and then limit the intake of alcohol. If your body weight is so much, please take control of it. Expose yourself more to sunshine. It is amazing when you hear that some African countries, the people are lacking vitamin D when we have a lot of sun. There are some people who don't have the sun most of the time. So having sunshine is also very helpful in preventing calcium deficiency. And it would be better before 10 o'clock or after 3 o'clock p.m. to prevent sunburn. Please, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for turning in, for listening, and thank you very, very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Samalie. Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation. First, we learned a lot from your motivational speech. We hope that today, the distributor in the house will learn from you that they could lead the team efficiently. Secondly, thank you very much for your presentation of the calcium deficiency. We have learned that we have 3 groups of products: the calcium capsule, the 3 compound calcium powder, one for adults, one for children, and one for those people with high blood sugar, and also the compound marrow powder. So thank you very much, ladies, especially ladies. We need to remember to take the supplementation of calcium. Otherwise, when we are in advanced age, very possibly we could suffer from the calcium deficiency and osteoporosis. Thank you very much, Madam Samalie. After your presentation, we're going to invite Madam success story, and after that she's going to present us one of the health topics. So thank you once again, Madam. Thank you, and thank you for all the leaders. I see today there's a lot of leaders in the house from Uganda. Thank you very much. Madam Agatha Yowela, how are you? Would you like to share your screen? Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, is the screen showing?
Great. Thank you.
You can see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. I just want to thank Green World Africa for giving me this opportunity tonight. And thank you so much, Samalie. We've learned a lot. And without wasting much time, I'll go straight into my presentation. I am Dr. Agatha Chipampila Yowela from Zambia and a 6-star distributor. So first and foremost, I'm starting my presentation by talking about my why, because I come from first a very humble beginning. I actually went to school without shoes. At one point, things were very hard for my family, and I slept on the floor. So for me to be financially independent, for me to work hard, it's non-negotiable, because I come from that family where I wanted to help my mother, my parents, take my siblings to school, and also be able to provide for my own family. They say if your why is not strong enough to get something, to have certain results, certain outcomes, then any excuse you'll be able to give up. But like I've said, my why from childhood has been so strong that I needed to succeed in everything that I was given an opportunity to do. So I start with that. So if you can see in the pictures, it's just the story of my life. I was born in one of the mining towns called Chingola in Zambia. My father was a miner. My mother was a secretary, but things changed along the way when my father decided to shift and go and join a cousin in one of the coal mines in Mamba. Things didn't work as planned. We found ourselves living like in the huts that you are seeing there, from living in a 2-bedroomed house with electricity. We found ourselves living in thatched houses, toilets outside, and we had to draw water. So this also just speaks into my why. Like from the time I was a child, I knew I had to succeed at whatever cost. So there again, my footprints, I went to a secondary school, a Catholic school in Livingstone, Zambia, one of our tourist towns where the mighty Victoria Falls is. And I would actually invite you, when you come to Zambia, you have to visit the mighty Victoria Falls, the real Africa, Zambia we are called. So after I finished my secondary education, I joined the banking industry as a teller. Again, that's a very big story. Those days we were able to work in a bank just straight from school, like your grade 12, your secondary school. Things have since changed now. Banks are only recruiting people with degrees, masters, you name it. But that time I was able to join as a cashier in the bank, like the first level in the banking industry. And along the line, one of the branch managers noticed how hardworking I was, my attitude towards work, and he encouraged me to go back to school and get a degree. So that was a very big turning point in my life. I did a degree at the University of Zambia. Life I've had grief and by the grace of God, I actually now finished from teller last year. When I was closing my corporate career, I was actually country head of distribution, one of the biggest bank in Zambia, Atlas Mara. I was looking after 45 branches with over 350 people. I share my footprints to just encourage someone and inspire someone that it doesn't matter where you are coming from. If you are determined if you are hardworking, you have the rightful attitude, you can achieve the successes that we've heard of in Green World. So the other way that makes me to work so hard, even as a distributor, I talked about being financially independent. I know in life we have what we call 6 jars. That I call 6 jars is actually a 6-jar principal model, where your income is supposed to provide for your necessities. It needs to also give you financial freedom.
Sorry. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Madam Agatha is back. Madam, can you please unmute yourself?
Okay, sorry about that.
Right.
Let me reshare the screen. I think we got, the network is quite bad, but yeah, I'm able to see my screen.
It doesn't matter, we're inspired by your story. Yes, we can see the screen.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the other reason, again, is for education. For me, I want financial freedom. I want long-term savings, because when I retire, I don't want to be a beggar. I don't want to be a burden to my children. Again, just to have fun. And Green World offers all those opportunities. I want to give back, because even as we are in the Green World business, it's about giving back to our loved ones and also ourselves. So there's a mantra that I always go by, which is mindset shifting. As a man thinketh, so is he. So what am I trying to say? I'm saying that if you determine to work hard in Green World, if you determine to go the extra mile, you can be part and parcel of the many success stories that we are hearing of, 8-star people getting $150,000, car awards, house awards, and also living a great life. When did my story start in Green World? It started in November 2023. So I'm 1 year plus, and first and foremost, even my starting Green World, it was just, the right time. So I'd gone to the shopping mall, one of the biggest shopping mall in Lusaka. I stay in the capital city, and I was looking for a dress to wear. There was a party that I was supposed to attend. Then I met Mavis. Mavis is one of our one-star manager in Zimbabwe, married to our director, Tendai. I'm sure most of us have heard of them. So they had come to Zambia to promote Green World. So she met me in that shop. I just saw this woman who was smiling at me, looking very confident. And I was like, okay, so who is this woman? So she introduced herself and said, I want to introduce you to a business opportunity. I wanted to know more, but she said, I want you to come, because when you attend and hear it for yourself, then you can make your decision. And I attended the meeting, and for me, because I've been involved in a number of networking businesses, I can't mention the names, and I didn't see any value. Even the way they shared the bonuses was not transparent. Even after being a distributor in those organizations for a long time, I was not seeing results. So I asked her to say, first and foremost, just after the training, I was convinced that this was a good business. I saw the shop where the office for Green World is, the products, the branding. I was amazed. But I told her, I want you to give me 3 things why Green World is different from all these other network organizations. She shared with me the bonus sharing. I'd never been shown anything like that. She also told me that once you join, and definitely the good start is 3-star, you will be able to get products of your choice. This had never happened. Most of the networking organizations I joined, they could actually prescribe what you would get. So that was a first. And just for me, actually getting into 3-star, I had a cashback. Then they introduced me how I could actually grow and bring more people on board. Again, there's a mantra, a saying that says, clarity precedes success. So even as we are talking to other people to join, our friends and our families, it's important that we provide, because Mavis took time to walk me through, provide clarity. I was able to wholeheartedly make up my mind to join. I had so many questions and she answered them all. There and then I joined because I believed in the Green World vision and what they stood for, their products. And I started not only getting things to sell, I wanted to also try the products for myself. At that particular time, I had a problem with diabetes. So I bought the product so that even when I'm selling, inviting people to join the Green World family, I could have a testimony and a story. So I was convinced. After being convinced, I also now started inviting. Remember, at that point, I was in the corporate world as country head distribution, having 45 managers who were under me and also 4 regional branch managers. And because they had worked with me, they trusted me, they knew that every time I said something, it had integrity and also it could be trusted. So those are the people that I started inviting. And within 6 months, I had 4 direct reports that have become 5-star, and I also became 6-star. And we started building our team, and we are still building. I've talked about being a 6-star, and also I was part and parcel of the team that traveled to China last year. Oh my God, what an experience. The excellence, the manufacturing, buildings, you can't even put it in words. The networking, where we saw people that earn over $1 million in Green World. We talked to them, we brushed shoulders. So this one, you just have to work hard and go. I think Samalie also talked about it. It is one of the experiences of a lifetime. It's not the China that you hear about. You have to see it for yourself. I remember there was an auntie from Nigeria at one point when we were taken on this beautiful boat. She actually was very quiet. So I went to her and said, Mama, why are you quiet? She was like, what is wrong with us? Look at these people, their architecture, the excellence, because we are over 3,000. But I tell you, there is no one got lost. There is no one who missed a flight. There is no one who got, confused. Everything was organized and excellent. So those are some of the pictures, us in China celebrating the 30th anniversary ceremony. It was a wonder. We met people from all walks of life. And I can just encourage ourselves here to work hard and one day be part and parcel of what we enjoyed. What have I learned so far? I always tell people that I'm a student for life. The 1 year, 5 months, 6 months has taught me you need to inform people about the facts of the business. Green World has got a lot of materials, the trainings. The more you attend the trainings, the better you become. Buy products for yourself and loved ones so that you can have a story, you can have a testimony. I started telling people my diabetes when I started taking Green World products was around 19, sometimes 20. When I started taking the products, it came all the way down to 6.5. Show them the why. What is in it for them? Like I have shared my story, my background. Recruit from your family, relatives, and friends. I say social capital is very, very important. What actually gave me the opportunity to become a 6-star within 4 months of joining Green World is that I'd built a great social capital. Networking. Let people trust your story. Build a strong direct reports. That's what I've learned. Because even in my 1 year, 6 months period, some of the direct reports were not very strong and not very hardworking. So it meant that apart from me working for to build also myself, I had to also do their work. We need to support, yes, our downliners, but they need to also make an effort. Imagine having a direct report that doesn't even recruit, that doesn't even buy products. They won't help the team to grow. And then lessons learned, invite, invite, invite. The more you invite, the chances, because people are being spoken by different trainers who have had experiences in Green World. People are sharing their stories. People can actually see what Green World has done in other people's lives, and they'll be inspired to join. So this actually ends the story of my life and also the journey in Green World. So let me now go to the topic of tonight, this evening or morning, depending on where you are. So my topic tonight is on chronic fatigue syndrome. We know that right now the world has become something else. Every day there are things happening in the negative, there are chaos. And if you don't take care of yourself, you will find yourself depressed, you will find yourself mentally disturbed, because every bad news will impact you. Economies are also not promising. Jobs also are not guaranteed. I have a story to tell. No matter how much money you get from your job, it will never be enough. It will never give you a saving for your retirement. It will never give you money to fully support your family, friends, and relatives. So this is a very important topic, and it's a lot. So I'll try by all means to summarize, and if we need more details, you can ask from our office, and you'll be able to be given the notes for this topic. So what is chronic fatigue syndrome, CFS? And first, I'm starting with a question. Do you sometimes feel extremely tired and don't feel like doing anything? Even bed rest doesn't chase it away. I have been there. If this condition lasts for over 6 months, whether for yourself or loved ones, and you don't have any diagnosis that suggests that you've got other health conditions, you probably have chronic fatigue syndrome. Also, what comes with chronic fatigue syndrome, for example, if the health conditions I spoke about, you can have anemia, chronic infection, psychological stress, diabetes, liver diseases, kidney diseases, and cancer can all cause tiredness. And that's why it's so important that you rule out these other health conditions. So if you can rule out these common conditions, maybe you might have chronic fatigue syndrome. And it's now widely accepted as a medical condition. Talk of mental health now. Every organization wants their staff to be aligned with chronic fatigue and also mental wellness. So chronic fatigue syndrome is a complex and poorly understood condition that is characterized by extreme, persistent fatigue that does not improve with rest and worsens with physical or mental activity. We have heard of people, and maybe we might have experienced it ourselves. You wake up in the morning, you feel so tired, and you are wondering, where is this tiredness coming from? What are the causes of CFS, chronic fatigue syndrome? A lot of factors. Things like infections can cause chronic fatigue syndrome, and I've talked about that. You have neuropsychological, you have immunological disturbances, and refreshing sleep, unable to work, and many others that I'm going to start talking about. Viral infections, we have said, can cause and can be associated with chronic fatigue syndrome. These infections might trigger an abnormal immune response, causing you to feel tired, causing you not to have a peaceful sleep. Then there's also immune system dysfunction. Again, abnormalities in immune system, such as chronic low-grade inflammation or altered systems such as chronic, CFC, like I said, hormonal imbalances, post-infectious syndrome, sleep disturbances, mitochondrial dysfunction, something that has to do with cells in your body, the energy that your cells are producing. So what do we do after we have actually now isolated that our case is not due to some of the health conditions that I've talked about? Greenworld has got the answer. Just like we had the former presenter talk about the importance of calcium, even with chronic fatigue syndrome, Greenworld has got us covered. And I always tell people, not only is Greenworld taking good care of your health, but it is also helping you to become financially independent. So we are going to look at some of the supplements you can use. So there's spirulina. We know that even the bottle, it's green in color. So this capsule is very, very important. What does it do? It's a nutrition support to alleviate chronic fatigue syndrome. It's also an antioxidant. It's also has got properties of cyclosanin, beta-carotene, and other carotenoids. You find vitamin C and E, chlorophyll. Greenworld, again, spirulina plus capsule also contain American ginseng, which also help alleviate the CFS. Like I said, there's a lot of material if you want to go in detail, and especially if you are explaining to someone that the office can make available, and some of them I'll talk through. Again, you know, it's got superoxide dismutase. It has a lot of, these medical terms. When I was going through this study, I thought I was actually becoming a doctor. So it's a natural source of SOD, an enzyme that catalyzes the conversion of superoxide radicals into oxygen and hydrogen peroxide, reducing oxidative damage in cells. So if your cells have been damaged, when you take spirulina to alleviate, it will support you to get back the cells' power that have been damaged. Again, you know, there are compounds that help with heart, cardiovascular health. Again, this capsule will help you and support you in healing, where if you have cardiovascular health conditions. Again, so that is on spirulina. The other, again, supplement is called Super CQ10 capsule. I have provided the picture so that even when you go to the shops, you can also take pictures and show your loved ones. Like we said, invite them to trainings so that they can get more details. So this one also is a supplement that helps with actually the CFS, chronic fatigue syndrome. So what does it do? First, it's a fat variable vitamin-like compound naturally present in the body. So we have the coenzyme Q10 that is already in our bodies. And it comes out especially in energy-demanding organs like the heart, your liver, and muscles. It plays a crucial role in cellular energy production and has potent antioxidant properties, which make it a promising supplement for alleviating symptoms of chronic fatigue syndrome. How can this capsule help us? Number one, it boosts our cellular energy production. It reduces oxidative also works so we would recommend Super CQ10 if someone has got symptoms of chronic fatigue syndrome. We have blueberry, again, you know, blueberry juice, and also the super nutrition. That is also a supplement that can be used to support someone with the chronic fatigue syndrome. You can see again by the pictures, even when you go to the shops, you can't miss it. So what does this do? So number one, it supports in mitochondria health. And we are saying the mitochondria are the powerhouses of the cells. They are responsible for producing ATP. We can read that word, which is the body's primary source of energy. Blueberries contain compounds that may help protect mitochondria from oxidative damage and improve their efficiency in energy production. So basically, we are saying this blueberry super nutrition has got this property that helps in actually energizing our cells. So by supporting the mitochondria function, blueberries help ensure that the body's cells produce energy more efficiently, reducing the feelings of fatigue. Again, the blueberry also enhances immune function. It has vitamin C, which is known to boost our immune system. And it helps us from actually getting any infection anyhow. It's also an antiviral effect. So again, if you've got a viral infection, because of the richness in vitamin C, it can help reduce the effects of the viral infections. Again, you know, reduction of oxidative stress. When you take a blueberry, because of its properties, it will help you reduce the effects of stress. So by protecting the cells and tissues from oxidative damage, blueberry products may improve energy metabolism and reduce fatigue. We continue with now the coffee. That is another supplement or coffee, a drink that can help us and support us in actually as we try to reduce the effects and impact of chronic fatigue syndrome. I have been addicted to this coffee. I don't know about you distributors. I love my blueberry coffee. I love my Ganodema. Apart from the properties, the taste, the scent, oh my God, you can't replace it with anything. So I invite you, if you've never tasted these two coffee, apart from them helping you manage your chronic fatigue syndrome, you feel good because the taste is good. So when you take the blueberry coffee or Ganodema, again, you have properties, you know, because the caffeine works as a natural stimulant. So coffee, we are saying, can provide temporary relief from symptoms of chronic fatigue syndrome. However, its effects, we are saying, are symptomatic and short-term, and its role in managing CFS is not curative. One of the things that I love about the Green World family is that we tell it as it is. We don't sugarcoat. So we'll tell you what a particular supplement will do for you, how much it will help you, and the limits. So again, you know, blueberries, anti-fatigue fatigue properties, we've talked about, you know, it's a superfood. It has anti-fatigue properties, and their effects are largely at and bioactive compounds. We continue with, again, Ganodema coffee, which I love very much. Like I said, it is stress resilience. So Ganodema acts as also, you know, a supplement that will help your body adapt to physical, mental, and emotional stressors. So again, we see here there is mitochondria support. Again, it helps. We talked about, you know, mitochondria is used for boosting your cells, giving that powerhouse energy that your cells need. And again, like I said, Green World, we tell it as it is. So we are saying, even when you have this coffee, moderate consumption is advised. 2 cups a day. So again, we are saying these 2 coffees will help alleviate the chronic fatigue syndrome. I told you we are in for a lot of materials, but I've tried by all means to summarize. What other things can we do? And I know Samalie talked about also calcium, and then she ended with lifestyle. So the lifestyle is so, so important. What we eat, what we do with our bodies in terms of exercises. So at Green World, we are saying, yes, we are giving you the supplements for almost all kinds of diseases you can think of. But on top of it, because we care, we share, we are also talking about you living a good lifestyle. And I'm going to talk about some of those things. Lifestyles, we are saying, and especially now, because of the demands on our hands, you know, you find yourself eating junk food, you find yourself missing food because you are so busy with this and that, trying to help family, trying to help friends. You can develop a very eating habit, maybe even missing meals. Like when I was working for the corporate world, I tell you, there were times that I didn't have breakfast because I had to leave very early in the morning. And sometimes I would miss lunch. And now what remained was whoever is eating junk food, you also nibble here and there. So you find that in a day you've consumed a lot of food that is not good for you. So we are saying lifestyle changes can help alleviate symptoms of chronic fatigue syndrome by addressing our physical, mental, and emotional stressors. These changes aim to improve energy levels, manage stress, and support overall well-being. So what is it that we need? we need energy management, active rest balance, alternate between activity and rest to avoid again overdoing things so that again you develop another condition. So there should be a balance. And I always remember there was a time that I was very big and I started going to the gym, and you should have seen me overweighing. At one point, I almost fainted. I started feeling as if blood was coming out of my mouth and the nose because I was overdoing it. And my husband, when I came back home, when I told him the story, he said, I know you overdo things. You've been eating for 40 years and you want to lose it in 1 week. It doesn't work like that. So I thought I would share that joke. Then also energy envelope, stay within your energy limits by understanding your capacity and avoiding boom and bust cycles. Prioritization. There are so many demands of our time. We are running with a lot of things, family things, yourself, society, community, you know, a lot of things. So if you don't prioritize in everything that you are doing, you will find that you'll be overwhelmed and you might have the chances of developing the CFS. So focus on essential tasks and delegate or postpone less critical activities to conserve energy. And for me, even as we do the green world business, that's why I said it's important that you recruit people, you train them so that they can be as good as you and they can also do the business and grow. They grow the team. Physical activity, we talk about gentle exercise, I've talked about that. Low impact routines like yoga, you can do stretching, you can walk, you can meditate. And then gradually you increase. I've shared my story of almost fainting because I overdid things. Listen to your body and stop activities before reaching exhaustion. We all know our bodies. Like I've said, I mean, there was a time I literally felt myself collapsing after doing very heavy training, overdoing them. So I couldn't continue. I told myself to say, Agatha, you have to stop. And I asked for water. I remember I took a walk just to, you know, again, balance up. We continue again lifestyle changes that we all need to make. Sleep optimization, go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. I know it's hard. We'll say, no, I've got a lot to do, maybe days are different, but try as much as you can to balance. You sleep at 8, at 9, make sure you try by all means, unless, for example, we have this engagement that we are having tonight. So those are exceptions. Again, we are saying sleep hygiene. Nowadays, with so many distractions, social media, our phones, the television, you know, you have to be intentional to create that, you know, sleep hygiene in a quiet place. You know, if you can switch off the light, cool sleeping environment, do away with the gadgets. I can assure you, and we can test, people spend 4 hours in the night on their phones, social media, looking at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So you need to intentionally and deliberately discipline yourself. So avoid caffeine, alcohol, and heavy meals before bedtime. Limit screen time at least an hour before sleep. And this is something that I'm also training myself, that before I sleep, I should just, you know, relax. I use meditation. I do deep breathing, breathe out, to find that your body starts relaxing. So you have to unwind before bed. And like we are saying, you have to be intentional, you have to be deliberate. diet and nutrition is also part of the lifestyle that we need to change. We need to have a balanced diet. Samalie said that as well. Eat nutrient-dense foods, fruits, vegetables, lean protein, whole grains, and health fats. Again, you have to include food like turmeric, ginger, omega-3 rich sources. You have your salmon to reduce inflation. Hydration, very, very important. Drink plenty of water to stay hydrated. Avoid stimulants and processed foods. Minimize caffeine, I've talked about that, sugar and artificial additives, which can cause energy crashes. Small frequent meals, especially at bedtime. We are told you can have a heavy breakfast, you can have a standard lunch, but try to have a small meal as you go to bed. When you do that, it will help stabilize blood sugar levels and prevent energy dips. Again, we are saying, even as we are addressing CFS requires a comprehensive approach that includes symptom management. If you notice you are ever tired, you notice fatigue, you notice no interest in work, you need to just check your lifestyle also. How is it, you know? And then do the supplementation. Since each person's experience with CFC is unique, so what has happened to Agatha might not be what will happen to you. You might show different symptoms. Like I said, we know ourselves better. We know when we are feeling on the top of the mountain. We know when we are feeling in the valley. So you'll be able to tell, to say, no, this is not me. All of a sudden, I'm getting tired easily. I go to bed, I can't sleep. So start checking your pattern. Can it be maybe the things that you are eating? You are overworking, you are overdoing things. So we say again, we are all different. So symptoms might present themselves differently. So it may take time to find the right combination of strategies that work for you. But like I said, if you are determined, if you've got the rightful attitude, and you want to have a better health, you will do whatever it takes. You won't give up. You will continue showing up and making sure that you are making small changes, you are taking the supplements, and guess what? People will see the difference that is happening in your life. They will start asking you, and you start now bringing them on board to the Green World family, and you start getting yourself an income. Again, in closing, I'm saying chronic fatigue syndrome is closely related to many diseases, including infectious diseases. We shouldn't forget, we talked about those. If anybody with CFS after lifestyle changes, stress management and supplementation find no obvious improvement, please take a thorough checkup and find out the underlying diseases. Which company can give you this? First, they are selling their products. They are inviting you to join, but also even giving you advice on other alternatives. I once joined a training from one of our distributors in Malawi, and he gave us stories of 2 different people who were given the same kind of medication for diabetes. The other one saw a lot of improvement to a 1-digit reading. The other one, the condition was the same. So does it mean that our products do not work? No. So again, you ask other trainers, other distributors, maybe you need to mix different supplements. And that's what they did for this second lady, because she was so discouraged. She was saying, this doesn't work. So when they changed the combination, she started also seeing results. So when you have brought in someone and they are telling you to say they are not seeing the results, seek help from the distributors, from the trainers who have been doing this business. We have heard from 2010. Oh my God, it's a big hand, a long time. So you can imagine the expertise, the experience that she has gained along the way. Never finish any presentation, any training without talking about the 5 DNA foundational questions that all of us should ask ourselves. And as you align to the green world, business, family, it's important that you ask yourself, number one, who are you? Once you answer this question, it gives you an identity. So in green world, who are you? In green world, I am a distributor. I am a consumer. You know, I am a business person. So identify yourself in green world by answering this question. Number two, again, I tell people, why were you born? Because that is a purpose question. We were born, all of us, to make a difference. And what a way to become part and parcel of green world family and change lives, because we are there to impact lives, to change a life. So find your purpose in green world. Again, it doesn't matter where you are, whether you are starting with 1 star or 2 star, 3 star, you need to know where you want to be. Because I tell you, green world, you can become a chairperson, director, stars, all the things that we are being taught. I've been there and I've seen people who have really made it in green world. So have that vision. It doesn't matter where you are starting. We heard the story of the previous presenter, where she started, even where she was living and where she is now. You have to make a strategy. How will you get there? From 1 star to 2 star to 3 star to 4 star to 5 star to 6 star, and you go on and on. Again, network with the people that have done it, the people that are doing it. How are they doing it? Attend meetings, attend trainings. I can assure you, the more you attend, the more confident you become that you can actually also become and be and reach the highest levels in a green world. The last one is, what will you be remembered for? That is the legacy question that all of us, we need to ask ourselves. If we can be financially independent, it means we can help, we can reach a life, we can support an orphan go to school, and that orphan will never forget what we did. With that, again, I say thank you so much for the opportunity, and over to you. Thank you. In Green World, we care, we share. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Agatha. Thank you for this wonderful presentation and motivational speech. We learned a lot from you. Thank you once again, Madam Samalie. I hope today, we have learned a lot from these two wonderful and awesome ladies. So, leaders and distributors, that's bring to an end to today's presentation. And in the future, we're going to invite more of our leaders from different countries, and also all these great presenters, we'll ask them to share with us more about the important topics in business and also in health. So, Mr. Budiman, I know you're doing your training in Ibadan, Nigeria. Would you like to close today's presentation for us? Is it convenient to you? Because I know sometimes you also have a poor network connection. Okay, all right. When he's traveling, we understand that some of the areas doesn't have a good network coverage. So once again, thank you very much for the great support from Zambia branch and Uganda branch. And in the future, we hope that we have more presenters and leaders from other areas like Western Africa, Northern Africa, Eastern Africa, and Southern African countries. So thank you very much once again. Many thanks to you. Appreciations on behalf of all the distributors. We know that actually in the house, we also have distributors and leaders from other regions. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, you can unmute yourself and say thank you to these two ladies and say goodbye to them.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, ladies, for the wonderful presentation.
Everyone
for coming. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
for the wonderful presentation.
Thank you, please. Good night.
Thank you for the wonderful presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone for attending.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. And good night. Thank you.
And
Well done. Thank you. Well done.
Well done, Madam Agatha.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.